Dean Martin from McCausland, Iowa, and this poem's called A Trip to the Feed Bunk. Well, you've all heard the phrase, likely even said it yourself, I'm going to do chores. Well, that sounds simple enough, like somebody already started the fire and all you got to do is sit down and eat s'mores, but you and I both know that's not the way things go. No matter if the sun's shining, the rain's falling, or the temps are 30 below, when you go out to feed, something's always in need. And no matter how much you prepare, it seems you can just never quite succeed. I mean, think about it. When's the last time absolutely nothing needed tended? No cattle were sick, nothing was broke, no fences needed mended. Man, wouldn't that be great? But admit it, we all have that one cranky gate that's easier to live with than to fix. Basically, a cattleman's life ambition is to be a magician whose bag never runs out of tricks. Then it comes to feed, which seems like a pretty simple application until you break it down into rations and feedstuffs, and then it turns into sort of a complicated operation, and then once you figure that comes your next contribution, and beating starvation's only solution, it's a cowman's biggest job. Feed distribution. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever stepped in a pen full of angry bulls who've got nothing on their minds but getting their bellies full. It sort of reminds me of a wildlife special I saw about a piranha feeding frenzy. Only difference is, feeding piranhas seemed a lot less dangerous to me. Now, I'm pretty sure we're all on the same page, but the danger has yet to subside. See, we still got to get to the bunk and pour that feed down inside. Now, I know we've all been there, but let me tell you. Here's a little story from my point of view. Well, 2 buckets of feed in each hand and a bag over my shoulder, I was greeted by a bull as big as a truck and solid as a Rocky Mountain boulder. Being fleet of foot was unfeasible given my overloaded state, and I knew it was going to be a dogfight as soon as I stepped through that gate, and sure enough, I was swarmed, surrounded, unable to even surrender, my hands being preoccupied. My feet were the only weapons I could render, so I took aim. Cocked back, got all set to shoot, then I dropped the hammer. Hit that old bull right in the head with the front corner of my boot. Now, things didn't pan out quite as I had pictured, with that old bull tucking his tail and running off to where I told him to go. No, instead, when my foot hit his head broke my toe. Now, the theory hasn't been proven. See, it's still in testing and development, but medical studies suggest that a large amount of swearing will cure your pain. So I made sure to emphasize every word that I spent. Then I directed my attention to that bull as I gimped to the bunk. Every step I took deeper in, my pain sunk. Why, you no good son of a mother who produced nothing but a heifer and you her worthless brother. Now, it didn't make the situation better, but I was satisfied with my choice of vengeful words, and by that time I had gone on to checking over the rest of the herd. And I guess the lesson here is, when someone tells you they're going to do chores, you better wish them luck, because they're going to need it. And if you didn't know before, hopefully you've learned by now. There's more to growing a cow than simply just to feed it.